Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from around the world tonight. Let's fight. Good to have each and every one of you here. Why are they wanting to meet with some of the folks who are going to be at that Burke conference in Washington in a few days? Why is that all of a sudden? Is Ali trying to school somebody again? Why is that? We're going to find out. Good to have each and every one of you here on the live. I just remembered folks say when that bell is pumping, folks, they don't hear what I'm saying. So I decided I'm going to wait for the bell to conclude. Then I'm going to start. Dorothy David, good to have you here. Dolly Asana, I missed you folks last night. Good night to our tubers. Good night, Group Lottery. Good night to all of you on Facebook, on Twitter. Good night to each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us from, folks, around the world, welcome in the ring. Good to have you, Carl Braffett, Sister Mercy, Tessa Isaacs, Graves Andy. I see a lot of folks joining us this evening. Good to see you. We're going to take the opportunity to share the live, to smash that emoji button, folks. And folks, we encourage you to partner with us as well. We don't run on water. And just letting you guys know, if you drop us a message on our WhatsApp, we can give you that link to that facility we now have for your debit cards, your credit cards. So you can contribute to our program and to keep us going. Good to see each and every one of you there. As we said, folks, happy to have you here. Closing off the week, and we don't throttle down when we approach weekend. No, fifth gear. We're going to finish and finish very, very strong. Again, good to have all of you here. Take a quick opportunity to share the live, smash that emoji button, telling you one time we're gonna have a guest dropping by. I'll tell you one time, it's a brother from another mother dropping by as well. Again, folks, it's such a delight to have each and every one of you here with us. Share the live, smash that emoji button, folks, and let's get ready to go down the road tonight. Good to have all of you, Brenda Braffett, Fidel Albert. Good to have you, John, and John. Good to have you, Anne, on the live, as we say. We are happy. We are delighted that you folks are here. Welcome to work. Good to have you here. Gilali Cook, Diane Fordyce. We see you, wonderful, beautiful folks. I take the rose. I see Diane Gravesandi have sent a rose there. Thank you so much, Diane. I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. As I said, wherever you're joining us from tonight, happy and delighted that you folks are here with us. Getting the audio a little confused there. Good to have all of you on the live. Ringing the bell one time for some of you. Siborn Semple is here. Myrtle is here. Ingrid is here. Joylyn Cook is here. Good to have you folks. Shirley and Juice and Tendry is here tonight, folks. As I said, good to have each and every one of you folks on the live tonight. I will have you know if you're out there tomorrow, Saturday. But we got an officer that has a justice of the peace. They don't sleep, folks. They don't sleep. They're always on the ball, working hard for you. Go down there tomorrow at the Callion Mall between Camp and Lamaha Street, between Camp and Waterloo on Lamaha Street, folks. And the folks are going to take good care of you. 649-6410. 649-6410. They're going to take good care of you. They work even on Saturday for all your documentation needs. Great team down there, hardworking, professional people, expert in if you need a justice of the peace. And those traffic, David, they're going to give you guys the fix up, folks. They're going to give you beautiful, wonderful folks, the fixer upper. Yep. That's where we're rocking and coming in from this evening. As I said, we are happy. We're delighted that all of you good folks are here with us. Who vex? We said it there. Who vex? We got the fight card set. There's only some of you good folks missing. I want you guys to know that I'm coming. I am coming to Atlanta. I was going to be flying back in a couple of days. Atlanta said, no, put on pause for us. We want to see you. He said, say not another word. I am coming to Atlanta, Georgia, in particular, Georgia, on the 16th day of September, 1-6, between 4 and 8 in the evening. That's the address I'll be at, and I'm so looking forward to seeing the many of you, the boots on the ground in Atlanta. Looking forward to seeing you folks there. 930 of you already on the live. Good to have you folks here with us. The meet and greet, folks. I want to see some of y'all in the flesh. Snap a selfie or two. But I'm looking forward to that engagement with you good folks. Come and talk to things. Yep, come and let's talk to things in person. I know y'all can tell me, I can see it, I can hear it already. You tall, yes, folks. 6'2", 6'3". And once you're full 18 at this side, I might be 6'5", 6'8" by time they bump to food. You're feeling that you might be 6'8" by that time. But good to see all of you on the live. Georgia, I am coming. I will be there. Nothing shall separate us. Georgia on my mind all the time. Georgia on my mind. 4 to 6, folks. That's the address we are meeting in Conyers. Who vex? Who vex? So come on up, Georgia. I want to see you all. I want to see each and every one of you. Peace and power. That's some of what we're looking at this evening, good folks. Some of what we're looking at. As I said, the fight card set is only some of you missing. The fight card, it's set. Welcome in the ring, folks. Welcome each and every one, wherever you're joining us from. Respect and manners to each and every one of you. Respect and manners. Meet you guys in Georgia. But as we're on that, folks, the open up. Never dull moment in these parts. Never dull moment with these boys. Never. You know, they talk one thing. You see how they care about people, right? How they love people. Oh, all are welcome. How those are always open. Kumbaya. Peace and love, everybody. But in their hearts, the dark. We heard you all, boy. We heard you all, boy. Papa Jagabat. On his presser, if you want to call it, that was more like a rant. It was more like a rant, folks. Incoherent as per normal. Incoherent. Trying to impress people. But you know, if you can dazzle with brilliance, just baffle with the other B. Baffle he did. There was a lot of bafflation in that press conference yesterday. Was plenty bafflation. They talk how they care. But if you hear we talk with them, sugar workers, why? Why he hates them now? Because Ramjatan, you know, speaking to their interests, speaking to their concern. So he vex. Right? That's the kind of people dealing with. He vex. That's what I'm telling you. The fella was vexed. And that wasn't the only thing. Huh? But here you are, boy, on that note. Here you are, boy, on that note. You all think they're easy? Take a listen. Take a look. You think they're easy? They are not easy. Take a listen. Take a look.
Recorded history of destruction of the industry. And the workers who brought him here to, or were led by him, they are part of the Kool-Aid too. I'm making it clear, because if they think that they forgot the short history of the sugar industry and would bring a person like Ramjatan, have him lead them here to talk about sugar, they got to be crazy if they think we're going to engage with them on that basis.
That is what the fella said. Is who crazy? Huh? Who crazy? You can hear more, folks. You can hear more on that. You can hear more like who crazy? You're going to want to know who's senile tonight. You're going to want to know is who's senile tonight. You're going to want to know who's senile. Right? They're drinking the Kool-Aid too. And they can say how they care about sugar workers. Why? Why? So you can't go and talk to the sugar workers. Huh? I can't go and talk to them. If I talk to them, they can't go and see the president anymore. Donald Joseph, you understand the madness? You understand the senility? Oren and Michaela Coates and Trevor and Lily and all the other folks joining us. You understand? You think you understand that? Let them think you're coming here. We want to see them. They're drinking Kool-Aid. Sugar workers. Folks, oh, how they've fallen are mighty. How they've fallen. If I didn't play it, you would have said lie on the fella. You would have said lie on the fella. But I ain't lying him. You know what else I want you guys to see? What I said about Chinese landing. How the man said it? They're all for Chinese landing. Is that them the people carried to court? Is that the Jagdeo government? Jagdeo came on the press conference yesterday. Folks, is the opener. He said we were always for the people at Chinese landing. But the same people carried them to court because it's the same Jagdeo government who used the power they put in the minister to put the people on the land. To put the people on the land. Same fellow. Same fellow. Folks, I won't go too far from that. I don't want to go too far from that. You see? So that is what we're rocking and coming with. We're still in the opener. We're still with the opener, folks. Here with the 70 Chinese landing people. You see? Take a look and take a listen. He won't be for them, but for Vera. He won't be for them, but for others at the same time. You can't serve two masters. And I know he's serving our indigenous brothers and sisters at Chinese landing. Take a look, good folks, and take a listen.
Could you see where government is on implementing the recommendations from the Human Rights Commission in relation to the Chinese landing issue? And additionally, could you provide an update on the fact-finding mission into Chinese landing, whether that is completed and if there is a report from that council? And finally, has government responded to the commission since receiving its report?
As to where we are at this exact moment, I know the investigations have not been completed. I know we had an initial engagement with the commission to say that we intend to fully comply. I know that the report is not completed as yet, but I know also that we have taken steps, strong steps, to address the identified issues that we were written about. And so I had a private discussion with the two shows from Chinese landing. And then at the NTC itself, an issue came up because a lot of the villagers from the village now are saying they don't agree with his action. So you have a lot of confusion. And I said we didn't want to get caught up at the NTC with internal village conflict between different parties in the villages. Seems as though some people from the village support Win Vera. Some others believe that the Tushao and others have monopolized mining. You have another group that strongly believes that supports the Tushao. So you have different groups, different positions. We're trying to stay away from those village issues. I explained to him and at the NTC that this matter that went to the commission had nothing to do or had very little to do with Vera. Because it seems as though the argument being made now is that they only wanted action taken against Vera. But that matter was already adjudicated in the highest court, which is comparable to for Guyana, is comparable to the commission. It seems as though that the matter that went before the commission was that, one, that the impact of mining in the area is causing pollution, that the miners are harassing people and causing a whole range of social problems, including threatening them. And so, the Vera matter, we stood on the side of the village all along, throughout it, but the CCJ ruled against us. So that's a separate matter. So to cure the breach, there's only one way you can do that. Since the source of this claim that of pollution and harassment is mining, then the government of Guyana took these steps to shut down the mining activities there. And therefore there can be no pollution, continuing breach, and there'll be no harassment because there'll be no miners there. Now, I spoke with GGMC and they said they found 9 operations, private illegal operations there. All of that was shut down. So it seems as though now what the Tushao is saying, and a group close to him, is that allow only us to mine, but shut down the others. But that's not what they argue there, because mining wherever it's done could be causing the pollution from anyone. So that's where we are now. That we have cured the breach, what went before the commission, and now we have to find out. That's why the investigations were there, whether
I
the
wanted you
claims
folks to hear
made before the
I wanted you folks to hear the pack of lies. I wanted you folks to hear yourself, because if I come and tell you how we lie on our brothers and sisters in Chinese landing, you know, you can pull a couple of things from that. As we proceed with the program, first, he said I got some people who want Mark there from the village. You know, there's some who want Mr. Vera there to mine, to dig them out. They got the minerals and so on beneath their feet that belongs to them. Right? They got some that want him there. Who are these people? How come they hold a press conference? How come they never send a letter to the editor? This matter being ventilated all the time. You see? This matter being ventilated all the time. How come they never send a letter to the press? How come they never make some time? You understand what I'm telling you? Suddenly, some folks want some others there. That's what he's trying to tell us. There are some folks who want you hear the madness here? Huh? You hear the madness here? There's a pack of lies. And then the biggest lie of all, we were always for them. We were always for the folks at Chinese landing. That's what he'd have us believe. Who's sharing the light tonight for us? Who can smash that emoji button for us? You all hear nonsense here? We're always for them. And then one convoluted story. Is he senile? Who is he for? He for Chinese landing? And he admitted that the folks there weren't wrong. He said there were 9 illegal mining camps like blights on the people there at Chinese landing. 9. That's what he said. 9 set of them. Could you imagine how they latch on them people, brothers and sisters there at Chinese landing, sucking them dry? 9. Why it took all of this for that to be uncovered? If GGMC are doing the work, why is it? Maybe you all know more than me. Why took all of that? Because the institutions, good folks, they aren't functioning as they should. They are not functioning as they should. And this is what we got for that. This is what we get for that. The institutions aren't functioning. Now, who's sharing their life for us? Who can smash that emoji button for us? It's Pierce and Power tonight. And we got a guest coming up, good folks. We got a guest standing by as well. Good to see each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from. That was the opener. And some of the madness that we keep hearing from this installed regime, a pack of madness. Don't come around with funny like that. Right? Don't do it. That's what we're saying. Don't do it. Don't come around with funny. Is he senile? Does he even believe some of what he's saying? I'm not too certain. I guess we're going to wait and see, folks. But let me go down the road. Let us go down the road. Some of what we're following, folks. Some of what we're picking up on around the world. Who don't know? Share their life with them. Smash that emoji button. We got a guest joining us. Why they don't want this conference in Washington? Why suddenly they want to meet with certain principals who shall be attending that conference? Why is that? We're going to come around to that. Good folks, we can come around. You're going to want to share the life. You're going to want to smash the emoji button. Good folks, bring it in. You all remember Mohammed Al Fayed, one of the wealthiest people he got in Britain, came a long way. You see? You all remember Jody Al Fayed? He was the paramour of Princess Diana at one point. Both of them died in that horrific crash, thanks to the paparazzis. Horrific crash. Well, Mr. Al Fayed, this is the father, Muhammad Al Fayed, died today at 94. 94. Lived a full life. Contributed, owned the Ritz there in Britain, Harrods there in Britain, some of the historic landmarks in Britain. Yeah. Gone but not forgotten. Walk good. Walk good, my brother. Walk good. Muhammad Al Fayed. Walk good. Folks, in other things we are covering this evening, we are so happy to see all of you folks on the live tonight. As we said, share the live, smash that emoji button. 2,500 of you watching us thus far from around the world, and we are so privileged. Here's what's happening around the region, folks. One of those stories we're looking at. When we told you of these guns are printing, you all remember that? We told you the guns that printing in Trinidad. The people got some printers, printing guns, you know. They call them the ghost guns. They work, but they're hard to detect. Very, very hard to detect. Now, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, who walk in, the people we got here, just want views out, and spin a pack of lights. People actually working there in Trinidad and Tobago. He says now it's a sinister challenge to control the influx of that kind of weaponry. That's what the fella said. How are you gonna detect that? You go to a metal detector, you're there, ping, 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 ping. So they have a challenge on their hand there. They got a big challenge that they're trying to remedy. And once you know we come home, you know we're going from there. Yeah, now we're going from there. Right down to the bottom. Folks, look some what we're following there. Yesterday, they struck down a woman. Folks, my God. It's the Wild West. Deborah Calendar, 62 years old, struck down reportedly by a GDF rank on Norton and Haley Street yesterday. Thankfully, she walked away with her life. It's the Wild West. Yep. And you know what? This young man was not so lucky. Just today, we learned that he was involved in an accident too. And I'm talking here about Avishkar Ishmael. He's from Tain, Quarantine. And he was struck down there in Region 6, rushed to the New Amsterdam hospital, but they're telling us that our brother Avishkar Ishmael was not so lucky. Yep, he was not so lucky. Carnage on our roads and our waterways. We talk to you guys about this all the time. So yesterday was Miss Calendar, walked away with her life. Today is Mr. Ishmael. He was not so lucky, folks. He was not so lucky. In other news, we're following carnage on our roads and waterways. Telling you a coca break, a J. Edward, Brockway, them boys are doing maintenance. What are they doing there? What are the folks doing there? We hear a lot of lands there are now flooded because of this coca at the Edward. It's problems. They are crosses. That's what I'm telling you. Since they come in August 2nd, 2020, it's purgatory mixed with a little confusion powder. That's what it be. Confusion every living day. It's one country, you know, a 2x4, and all these problems all the time. Now coca today. What are you gonna say to a thing like that? What are you gonna say to that? Crosses. That is who they are. And who vex? Who know? That's what we tell y'all. Who know? But when you deal with some people who got some senility issue, what do you expect? You're dealing with some folks who got some challenges, folks. What do you expect? That's one of the things we're covering, because a lot of lands there are now flooded. You know, y'all got run out. Y'all run out. Care Bears, the one from Social Services, Dr. Vinaya. Dr. Vinaya is trying to convince us folks that there are less street dwellers, less destitutes and mendicants on the road. Where Vinaya living? Where Vinaya living? Like Vinaya overseas? Like Vinaya around the corner from by me. Vinaya said there are less street dwellers now. I want to tell Vinaya, right? Don't go during the day. You take a walk down Regent Street night time. Right? Take a walk down Regent. I'll give you a small piece of real estate. Go between camp and let's say Light Street on Regent Street. Then you probably can't even find Regent Street. But she said there are less street dwellers, folks. That thing has become overbearing. But people are just falling on hard times. And it's house rent or the road. Which one is less overhead? I can take the streets. You know, some people not coping with life. You know, just being pushed out in no more than ever. The street dwellers are multiplying. You can't go to a corner. Soon you pull up by a traffic light. His whole family. Whole family. You can go between two streets and block payday. The amount of people coming to the car window. Oh, uncle, how better? Help us, right? Help us. And you want to respond. Vindia should wear some of those glasses she giving out, you know. Wear some of those glasses. Vindia trying to convince us we got less treaters. Folks, don't come wrong with funny. You better tell Vindia who's sharing the light. 2,800 of you watching us. Veronica Pimo runs. You're sharing the light. Stanley Wilson. You better clean Vindia glasses. You better, Don Sullivan, let me clean Vindia glasses. Robin, Daphne, Joseph Lee, Heaven Faith, come please. I beg you all. Let me clean Vindia glasses. Vanessa, the street dwellers have reduced. My Lord. My Lord. Which time did they Vindia went? I'm certain food are giving out somewhere. And the folks probably pull off. And that's the day Vindia went counting 01, 01, 1, 1. Yeah. Wrong day, Vindia. Wrong day. Wrong day. We got to question those figures. We're questioning those figures. Folks, good to have all of you on the live tonight. Share, smash that emoji button. I'm telling you, I'm supposed to have a guest dropping by Heaven Faith. Why? All of a sudden, Ali them want to meet with people in Washington. Why? You're victimizing good. Marginalizing good. All of a sudden, because people are drinking your Kool-Aid, because people are drinking your Kool-Aid, all of a sudden, you see madness? But I got a guest dropping by. Shiraz Ali, we see you there. Shiraz says the Jumbie board at work. Althea Jones, I see you there as well. Romy Leander, Andrew Griffith, Donna Miller, come on down. Maureen Williams, thank you for that contribution via YouTube. Folks, I want you all know we don't run on water. Fortunately or unfortunately. Fortunately or unfortunately. So I want to thank my sister with that contribution there on YouTube. Folks, you all know when we're live on YouTube, there's a dollar sign in the bottom of the comment section. You click on that dollar sign, it takes you to Never Land. Asks you to buy a sticker, something, an emoji or something like that. And part of that contribution, singular, comes to our program as well. Candy Lillian Legit, good to see you there. Rosetta Barton, good to see you there as well. I see Roxy McKinnon is there too. Martha, good to see you, wonderful folks. Good to have all of you on the live. Now, good to have you folks on the live tonight. Enid Miggins, where are you? Ariane Temple, where are you? Sandra Hanover, Jaiwan Bundari, Paulina Welch, good to see you on the live tonight. Sukchan Sudhari is here too. Don't only pour in and pack up. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji button as well, folks. And let me go down the road. So, Vindia, clean your glasses. That's the last thing you have to say on that. This businessman, they're telling us, was charged, folks. Finally, you see, we got to get rough with the Ghana police. So we don't always want to do that, you know. We have to call out the DPP. People should call it right. But we can do what we got. This is a businessman from Bartica who stabbed that patron. They tell us allegedly, beat him to death with a knife. Apologies there. That's the accusation. But he's on remand for murder. Beat him to death with a knife. Ariane, where it now? Beat him to death with a knife. Who Vex? Jackie, good to see you. Ariane, good to see you. Vincent, Gavin, good to see you. I see Faye Fort is here as well. Audrey is here too. Jackie Bate. Share the live, folks. I just want justice be done. I just want justice be done. That's all we're asking for. Let justice be done. Let justice be done, folks. I see Abir is here. Maureen is here. Mike is here. Sprague Benz is here too, folks. We are privileged to have all of you locked in to the light. That's how we want. The businessman from Bartica, that's how we want. Let justice, good folks, be done. Let justice be done. This is Raymond Rupnarine, 35 years old, out of Bartica. Yesterday morning, he was charged as he appeared in court there on the indictable charge, put in the legal parlance, for murder, and he has been remanded to court, remanded to prison, that is, until his next court appearance, which comes up on September 29. September 29. Valid, credible information. Share the live, good folks. Smash that emoji button as well. Moving on. Who's senile? I see we got a guest standing by. We're running up to our guests, folks. I love that we got our guests in the green room, standing by. Folks, we need a drum roll to bring him out. Eddie Grant, our very own, goes into the Hall of Fame. goes into the Hall of Fame, and rightfully so. He has had a distinguished musical career, kept the flag flying high out there, high out there, and he is going to be entered into the Hall of Fame there in Crandon, London, on the 7th of September. The day I was supposed to be heading home, Rickford said, hold on, Duncan, not as yet. Some folks from Jordan say, hold on. Back up yourself, Duncan. Right? He's going to be entering into the musical Hall of Fame on September 7th. He's saying, fans and supporters, if you love my music, come out. It's going to be done at Crandon, in London, Crandon in London, September 7th. And I'm certain if you're following his social media pages and so on, you're going to find out some more. Crandon, London, September 7th. He's entering into the Music Hall of Fame. I tell you guys, my guest is here. I am so eager. Bigly, I am eager, bigly, you see, to have my guests come on, share their life, folks. You know what? Why is it? Ali them suddenly, they want me. They want me with certain persons who are going to be down there in Washington. Why is that, folks? We coming down to that. Stay with us. Moving on, good folks. Moving on. Congrats. We want to say congrats to Eddie Grant. Joanna, give me up. Come let me rock down to Electric Avenue. Y'all know that? You all know those tunes? Oh, yes. I'm 8th show now. Congrats to our brother Eddie Grant. That being said, folks, we're moving on. Quick. Want to say congrats to the finalists, Miss Universe Guyana. That pageant is coming up. Want to say congrats to all of the young ladies who put themselves out in this way. We don't have time to touch all of the names tonight, but I want to say congrats to each and every one of them for this work that they're doing. You know, it's not easy going out there, you know, especially Guyanese. Oh, sweet Jesus. When Guyanese hold to be critical, they're not easy. They are not easy at all. So I want to say congrats to all of them. That being said, I told you of the Jagdeo presser. Folks, the man wailed into Kaitro News. He needs, you know. I want y'all to know the fella is not easy. He's not easy at all. You see? You know, Rickford can tell us. Folks watching can tell us. If this is how people conduct themselves normally, I don't think so. I don't. We there. We say y'all boy in the press conference yesterday. You know, we there. My whole press conference. Young, professional, up-and-coming journalist out of Sabbath News. Ask the man a question. Simple question. Right? Listen to the PPP Jagdeo response. Take a look. Take a listen, folks.
Davina Bagat with Kaitro News. Concerns have been raised by civil society regarding the Stabber block projects being insured by an ExxonMobil-owned company. Do you believe those concerns are legitimate? And can you say for the record if government is comfortable with this arrangement?
You asked that question last year, and I responded. I'm not senile unless the reporters are senile. We were asked in the context of the audit about this related company. And do you recall this? You don't recall it? I will get the clip and I will send it to you and I'll post it. Because if you don't recall that, and I think you were at the press conference, you need to make better notes about what you asked or Kaitro News asked.
Yep, you all heard that? So this is an attack on Kaitro News. You heard that? Folks, he asked a question. I want y'all answer. Huh? Am I saying I want y'all answer the question for the man. Eva, Leslyn, Deborah Sharon Lynch, Rosetta, I got my guests here. I want to hear on. Bantu King, Sukchan Sudari. Is he saying he asked a question that deserves an answer? 3,200 of you watching us. Is he saying the fellow wants to know? We cannot leave him without an answer. We just can't. It will be remiss of us. And I'm going to ask my guests too. My guests can join in there too. Is he senile? Just give me a sec, folks. I see Joel is here with us. Caroline Hertzen. He asked the question. Amita says senile. Right? Amita says senile. He's asking a question when people ask a question. You got to respond to them. 3,200 of you watching us. The fella asked a question. Why y'all want to be so uncharitable and not answer? Giving you guys a second or two. I want an answer. Please and thank you. The fella wants to know if he's senile, you got to answer him. Don't leave it like that. Let me guess. Won't leave it like that. I bring him a guest on just now. Am I senile? That's the question he had because the girl asked a question. You see? You remember the question you asked a year ago? Right? And for all we know, the girl didn't ask the question. Right? You remember the question? This is when things happening, you know. You're reaching that age and stage in life when all kinds of things happening. But he wants to claim he's senile. Hold on. He wants to claim he is senile, right? But here this question, which is more commentary than question, from a man he bringing there, claiming to be a journalist. We know he has boredness. Here the question he allow from boredness, and he asks the question if he's senile. But I think you get the answer there. Here's the question from boredness, and then I want my guess.
Dr. Jagdeo, for TBN. A growing number of Guyanese are becoming frustrated. I've received messages through comments, messages through WhatsApp, as it relates to three concerns that are frustrating Guyanese. Kaicho News, very depressing, the hot sun, and now your press conferences that are playing into Kaicho News narratives. A number of depressing states. People want to know about roads, people want to know about costs of living. When are you going to get back on track with the government's work as it relates to what the government is doing for Guyanese?
Okay. It's hard to, what I do here is not for Kaicho News.
And then he asked the question, am I senile? This is historic. An entity that claims to be a media house goes into a press conference and can ask a question on roads, can ask a question about cost of living, but attacks another media house for asking too much questions. You focus on them too much. Maybe, boredness, if you actually had some questions, you'll get some answers. Anybody who sane, allow boredness, a journalist to attack another media house in the folks, but he only attack, he only allow that attack. The man wading to somebody else in this press conference. Not a press conference goes by that Jagdeo has. We don't mention Rickford Burke. Not a press conference. He said he don't like Burke, but at the rate in which he talks about Rickford Burke, every press conference, he talks about leader of the opposition, Senator Rickford Burke. He likes him. It is clear. He has some choice words. He has some choice words for a brother from another mother. Right? Take a look. Take a listen.
And Rickford Burke, I hope that people have been writing their congressmen and the others about the criminal acts he's been engaged in, especially organizing these events that he receives money for. He's renting a congressman, renting an official of the U.S. government by collecting money on the side for people to meet them or get their pictures taken. He is going to end up in jail in the U.S. Here he's wanted already, but in the U.S. for these things. And unfortunately, it dragged down a lot of the people who are associated with him. Unfortunately, that will happen because there would be a party. Many of them know he's not a registered agent on the FARA, and yet he's doing work as a lobbyist. And so they will, at some point in time, be caught up with it.
Folks, in that space of time, he could have answered some questions on the roads. He could answer some questions on the cost. But no, the man's attention is on Rickford Burke. Without further ado, my guest for tonight, good folks, my brother from another mother. Who vex? My brother from another mother, the one and only Rickford Burke, president of the Caribbean Ghana Institute for Democracy. They're having a big conference there in Washington coming up, the 27th and 28th, historic conference there. Rickford, the show is yours now. Go right ahead. Why is he so interested in your organization? What you're doing there, Rickford? I need your mic. I need your mic.
Good night. Thanks for having me. Well, of course, he has an obsession with us because we were exposing his racism. I'm very flattered that Barry Jagdeo thinks he's a constitutional law scholar with expertise in U.S. law, that he can say that we are acting as FARA agents. I'm asking him, my question to him, if we are acting as FARA agents, his East Indian racist colleagues in Queens that write letters to the congressman every day complaining about us, what are they doing? I guess he thinks that Black people in America don't have a voice or a constitutional right to express their opinion. But he doesn't believe in Black rights anyway. The second thing is, first of all, CGID doesn't raise money from the public. He's making stuff up because that's what his racist extremist colleagues in Queens do. They raise money. And as a matter of fact, Bar Jagdeo and that group in Queens are under investigation right now. He might end up in jail in America because my understanding is that they raised money, particularly for a specific project to hire lobbyists on behalf of the PPP. They did not hire the lobbyists and they sent the money to Guyana. So Bar Jagdeo must say where that money went and if it went into his personal bank account. He likes to call people criminal. He's projecting. The biggest criminal in the Caribbean is Barrett Jagdeo. The biggest criminal in the Caribbean is Barrett Jagdeo. Barrett Jagdeo was caught by Vice News soliciting a $500,000 bribe for a fake company, which were journalists posing as business people who wanted to invest in Guyana. And Barrett Jagdeo had his middleman Sue allegedly arranging to collect money from them. In addition to that, Barrett Jagdeo is before the Inter-American Human Rights Commission, named as a criminal defendant in a murder case. The last time I checked, persons who are accused of murder are accused of committing crimes. I am not wanted in Guyana for anything, other than the fact that I speak truth to power. I expose their racism, and one of their racist supporters who owns a car dealership allegedly robbed hundreds of people in Guyana, have millions of dollars allegedly for people, and we were advocating on Facebook for justice and demanding that they pay those people back, having scammed them. And that's what they're calling extortion. So what Barrett Jagdeo has been doing, he and others in the PPP, what they have been doing is using the Guyana police force to use police instruments to attack us so as to silence us. It's not going to happen. And I want to tell Barrett Jagdeo, just as much as you want to use law enforcement, you want to make up allegations and then use law enforcement to attack us, we don't have to do that. We just have to tell law enforcement here the truth, which is about the criminal activities Barrett Jagdeo and his cabal in Guyana are involved in. And let's see where it goes. Well, we don't have to make up stuff. And Barrett Jagdeo can take his legal advice and go to hell. We live in America. We know what we can do and what we can't do. We don't need his advice. He's some half-baked economist that went to a community high school in Russia, learned economics, practices witchcraft economics, and wants to give us advice on the laws of the United States. And like I said, we have 5 attorneys on the board of directors of CGID. And he is just so obsessed with CGID because we are his most formidable political opponent. So he's making up stuff that we're collecting money. The problem is Barrett Jagdeo and these ethnic extremists in the PPP, they like to disparage Black people. He has a contempt for Black people. He has an innate hatred for African Guyanese, Black people all around the world. And so he wants to stereotype us with the American profiling of black people. We either criminals or we live in basements and we poor.
Mhm.
And so he has to attach this. They like to collect money. If you want to try to bring a black man down, accuse him of thieving money. That's Barjack. That's what he's doing. And his own words would be used against him because we will play. We're keeping every tape, right? We will play all of those comments in Congress because all the members of Congress know that I'm a decent citizen and that I am very much involved in my community. I don't know that Barrett Jagdeo could call himself a decent citizen. Barrett Jagdeo, and let me tell you this, he is coming after me like that, and I'm telling him that I'm coming after him too, because we're going to ask the United States government to sanction him, and he knows that. I'm making bold to say, we are going to ask the United States government to sanction him because he has allegedly been involved in death squad murders. He and his government, and he just admitted it, created death squads, arranged for them to be financed, and identified people to be killed. That's what those death squads did. And his government was involved in it. President George Bush Jr., his administration condemned Barrett Jagdeo and his cabinet, including Ronald Godraj, the then Minister of Home Affairs or National Security, for being involved in death squad murders, extrajudicial killings. And in fact, Godraj was so much involved in those murders that the United States government condemned Barrett Jagdeo for keeping him in the cabinet. Ambassador Richard Boucher, who was the Assistant Secretary of State for Public Affairs, issued a blistering statement accusing Barrett Jagdeo's government of being involved in criminal activity. That's a fact. So the United States government knows that Barrett Jagdeo has been involved in criminal activities. The United States government knows that Barrett Jagdeo is corrupt. And we are not going to stop our advocacy for him to be sanctioned for those murders. We want an international investigation. We want the United States government to push for an investigation of the genocide Barrett Jagdeo and his cabinet, along with the Rojan death squads, allegedly committed over 1,400 extrajudicial murders. Black people's lives have value, and we're not going to sit back and allow Barrett Jagdeo to bask in the sunshine and celebrate the murder of over 1,400 Black people. And, you know, I was at the barbershop earlier today, and people were telling me that they're going to start to advocate for retaliation. And, Shard, let me say this. Remember Barrett Jagdeo said...
He said he's coming after you. He's coming after you. What you're doing there. He said that.
That's fine. And we're coming after him, too. I want Barrett Jagdeo to know that everything he can do, we can do it better than him. If he wants to be an advocate for murder and for us to be killed, then the U.S. law enforcement would handle that. And that's what he's been doing. He's been saying that they must get mechanisms in place to get us back to Guyana so that we can be killed. His attorney general came here and advocated for me to be killed. And we have been meeting constantly with U.S. law enforcement. And we are not going to advocate for people to be killed. That's the realm of the PPP and Barrett Jagdeo. That's what they've done all their political careers. We are focused on justice. We want equality. We want equity, Sherrod. Barrett Jagdeo could campaign and attack me. He's only making me more popular and only making people study more the values that I have and my advocacy. So I welcome him every press conference to talk about me. He has nothing better to do. He's obsessed. He thinks that by targeting me, people would not want to associate with me. Every press conference he has, the registration for the conference goes up because he is making the conference very, very important to the government. But I want to say this, Sherrod. I could promise Barrett Jagdeo that he has to make up stuff to attack us. We don't have to make up stuff to attack him. He has a sordid, nasty criminal history. He was caught by Vice News soliciting bribes, $500,000 bribe. The United States government condemned him for he and his government's involvement in death squads that killed over 1,400 people. In addition to that, he must tell the Guyanese nation where he got the money from to buy all those properties he has. He must tell the Guyanese people how many bribes of that nature, $500,000 US, he has been accepting from foreign investors. And he must also tell the Guyanese people how many black young men his death squads killed.
Yeah, yeah. A sad time indeed under his presidency. Rickford, you said you focused over there, minding your own business, doing your own thing. A couple of weeks ago, Irfan Ali ran into Hakeem Jeffrey in Trinidad, Hakeem Jeffries, congressman in Trinidad during the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, and very undignified way engaged Mr. Jeffries. He said he schooled him. He schooled him. I thought that was the end of that. Up comes your conference now, and we know that Jeffries may be there as one of the headliners. Suddenly we're hearing back channels. He want to meet with Jeffries. Suddenly, all of a sudden, why are they trembling at the sound of Burke's name? Why are they trembling where this conference is concerned, Rickford?
Well, first of all, that's a lie. He did not tell the congressman anything about Guyana. My information is that he had a brief, about 30-second encounter with the congressman, and he was introduced to the congressman by another member of Congress. It might have been Gregory Meeks, and he was very pleasant. He told the congressman, "Nice to meet you," and said, "Congressman, we have been trying to arrange a meeting with you. We'll be happy if you could meet with us the next time we come to Washington." And the congressman said, "Okay, nice to meet you too, and talk to my staff." That's it. That was the only exchange of words they had. But he wants to big up himself as if he has some sort of importance to the congressman, talking about he engaged the congressman. It's a total lie. He did not speak to the congressman about anything with regard to Guyana. He only basically said that they want to have a meeting with him, and the congressman said, "Sure, make contact with my people."
Mm-hmm. And now he's been pushing, since this conference is being held from the 27th to the 28th of September there in Washington. He's now pushing very forcefully for that meeting to happen before the conference. You know,
well, they're obsessed with the conference because they know that they'll be exposed, and they know that there'll be consequences. Because our position is this: the United States government has not, to me, satisfactorily engaged them on the atrocity they have committed. That's number one. Number two, we don't believe the United States government is getting accurate information on the ground in Guyana through the embassy. Number three, we believe that the United States government's policy on Guyana has not adequately promoted the values that we care most about, which are equality, equitable governance, equitable growth, ensuring that everybody benefits from the expansion of the economy, social justice, sustainable development for all Guyanese. The United States has condoned, as far as I'm concerned, the racist policies of Jagdeo and Irfan Ali and their government. And so we want to sit with our elected officials and the government officials to discuss how collectively, everybody, diaspora, everybody, can promote these important democratic objectives in Guyana. And that's why we're having this conference, and that's why Bharat Jagdeo is against it. Bharat Jagdeo is against equitable growth, which means he's against Black people benefiting from the economy. He's against equality, which means he's against Black people being treated equally like East Indians, supporters of the PPP. He's against sustainable development for all, which means he's against Black people being treated equally again and benefiting equally from the resources of the oil and gas sector of Guyana. He's a racist, he's an autocrat, he's a despot, and he believes that he owns the country. And we are determined that he's not, to show him that he's not, and that Guyana belongs to everybody. And everybody must benefit from the wealth and natural patrimony of the country.
Excellent. Rickford, on that note, how are preparations for the conference coming? We did ask you to come back and give us an update as things progress. How are the preparations coming? The preps?
Things are going well. And we got a call from the Guyana embassy saying they want to come. They want to bring 10 people to the conference. So we have to remind them that's a private event. We have to remind them that the conference is by invitation only. And we have to remind them that the conference is an opportunity for members of the participating organizations in the diaspora to talk with their elected officials. We are unconcerned about the views of the government of Guyana. The government of Guyana speak with U.S. officials all the time when they go to Guyana.
Yeah.
The officials that go to Guyana do not speak with all sectors of the society in Guyana. They barely speak with the opposition, which is a bad policy. It is a terrible policy, and we're going to object vehemently to that policy. When U.S. officials go to Guyana, they need to speak to all sides of the polity. They need to speak to the Amerindian community. They need to speak to the AFC. They need to speak to, well, they can speak to the combined opposition. They need to speak to Black leaders. They need to speak with maybe East Indian leaders. They need to speak with
Indigenous leaders.
the civil society.
Correct.
So as to get a balanced view of what's happening. The PPP government does not represent the views of all of Guyana. They represent the views of 49% of the country. And so it is bad policy for the US government to just go to Guyana and continually engage only the PPP. The PPP does not speak on behalf of Black people because they see Black people as second-class citizens. Let Black people speak for themselves. And the Black Guyanese in the PPP don't speak for Black people either, because in order to become accepted in the PPP, they have to strip themselves of their Blackness. They have to deny reality. And they are placed there to deny the fact that PPP governments have killed Black people. They've committed a program. And I want to say this. I heard by Jagdeo right at the memorial service for
Luncheon?
Dr. Roger Luncheon, claiming that they formed these death squads. He didn't say it in those words, but that's what he implied. They formed these death squad to kill people because the military leaders and law enforcement leaders were not willing to do it. And he's calling that dereliction of duty. And all of these guys are still alive and they're quiet. It is disgraceful that the former army leaders are quiet. It is disgraceful that the former police commanders are quiet. Why are they quiet? When Barry Jagdeo was accusing them of not doing their duty and saying that he had to form their squads to kill people in order to maintain law and order in the country. And then he's calling people criminals. And I want to say this. I was discussing this with a law enforcement official in this country, and I'd like to tell the public that we are constantly in communication with U.S. law enforcement, both at the federal and at the state level. And they're committed to keeping us safe because of all the death threats and all the threats from Barry Jagdeo and his PP colleagues. We're not scared of them, because I can tell them if they do anything to us in the diaspora, there will be a response and there will be justice. So I hope they know what they're doing. We are not the people in Guyana. We are not the people in Guyana that they could disrespect, kill, and get away with it. If they touch any one of us in the diaspora, there'll be swift justice. I can assure him that. Now, also, you notice the pattern. They're calling us criminals. That's exactly what they did to the people in Ghana before they set them up to be killed. And now they're calling me criminal. The FBI is investigating dozens of death threats against me. And Barry Jagdeo, actually, when he was president, sent intelligence officers from the GDF to follow me around in New York. We knew that. We know that. They didn't know that. We know that. And they have the intelligence agencies in Guyana, the special branch, the GDF, and the intelligence agency that they just formed, naming us in the diaspora persons of interest. And so we get a lot of information. And officials here are also briefing us and telling us what should be our security posture and all of that. So it is the modus operandi of Barry Jagdeo. He first calls people criminals, then he sends death squads out to kill them. But we're not scared of him. And like I said, I'm getting very concerned about the lack of justice for these death squad victims, murder victims, because people are getting angry. There's a young man who was visiting Guyana, who I just met, and said to me that he believes it's time for retaliation against the PPP for the death squad murders. And I told him, no, that's not the best thing for us. That's not right for us to do. Let justice take its course. Let the rule of law prevail. And we're going to fight for justice the right way. And he said they're in Guyana, they're getting impatient. So people are all around the place calling for revenge. And the United States government has to take action as a leader in the world for ensuring that there's justice for these murders. Black people are right to be outraged. The PPP government engaged in the systematic murder, genocide of Afro-Guyanese, and they did it with impunity. And Barrett Jagdeo is boasting, celebrating it. There must be justice, and we will not rest until there's justice.
Yeah. I take your point, Rickford. Best wishes for that conference. See you on the 27th. Looking forward to it. And thanks for coming by on just very, very short notice to respond.
Thanks for having me, and I look forward to a great dialogue and successful engagement at the conference.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Rickford.
Have a good night.
All right. There you have it, folks. There you have it. The man himself. Everybody likes him. Rickford this, Rickford that, Rickford. Rickford living this, Rickford that, Rickford walk, Rickford. Yeah. Folks, thanks for the 4,000 of you who joined us tonight, folks. That is going to do for us at this time. Maureen and Sandra, Faye and Linden, Deborah and Jaiwan Bundari. Joylyn Cook is there as well. Rowena Cummins. Guys, go ahead and have a fantastic weekend. We're going to see you guys right back here next week, folks. Next week. See you guys right back here. We're in Georgia on the 16th. Well, of course, you know now on the 27th, we're in Washington. Who vex? We come here to sport. We come here to work, folks. We came to work. Good to have all of you on the live tonight. Edward and Anata, Devonti. Good to have you there too. Andrew, Yanet, Carol, Waveney. Good to see you there. Michelle. All the way it's watching us this evening. Good to have you on the live. Laverne. Good to have you. Atala. Good to have all of you guys watching us. Mavis, Davis Wells, Bella Mona's here too. Mavis and Heaven Fit. Good to have you. Candida Leland, Legit, good to see you as well. And Dan Gibbs Andy. Michaela. Out front parts. Have a fantastic week, folks. That's going to do it for us. The last bell. That's our time. And that's our program.